You need to politically stop the project because, as I say, if you get to court, any judge, and it really isn't the judge's fault. The judge is going to say, look, the county is given the power to build roads, and I, as a judge, I'm not going to stop it. So a couple kind of overview things. Their right to take your property is based on the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. Not that it really matters, but it says private property cannot be taken without the payment of just compensation. So in order for them to take your property, they must pay you just compensation. The process is they always have the property appraised. They make you a written offer. If the offer is rejected, then they can file a lawsuit to acquire the property. In the lawsuit, there's two questions. Do they have the right to take your property? Because sometimes they don't. And secondly, how much money do they have to pay you? When it's a road project, I mean, in my 40 plus years, I've never seen any judge stop a road project because the government kind of has the right to decide where to build roads. So it's usually a loser to try and stop the government from building a road. But you're entitled to full compensation for what they're taking and any reduction in value to what property you have left. And if you can't make a deal with them, you're entitled to a jury trial. I don't even know if the county would go through with deals because they got this political problem that you guys really know as much about as I do. I mean, my knowledge is essentially what, Heidi said here in this little note that she gave me, that the county board people voted to stop it, and then the head of the county board vetoed that ordinance or resolution, and now there's a lawsuit over that issue. But I think from your perspective, if I was you, I wouldn't do anything. I'd wait and see what happens to that lawsuit because you're not spending any money. And if the lawsuit ultimately decides that they don't have the right to go ahead with the 143rd Street project, then you have nothing to worry about. If something happens in the county, the lawsuit's resolved or there's some arrangement or the judge rules, and they decide to go ahead with the project, well then you're like every other property owner in metropolitan Chicago where the government's widening the road. So it's not like you're worse off, you're kind of in limbo now because of this court case, but it really isn't hurting you yet because they can't, I don't think they can do anything till that gets resolved. Go ahead.
So when the residents start getting their letters, how long can they just not respond and just, like you said, just wait?
Yeah.
And just continue to wait?
Yes. If you get a letter from them, whenever you get a letter, has anybody gotten a letter with an offer? So a couple of you have. So when you get a letter, you'll see there's a negotiator, that's on the letter. That's Tom Brown.
It's insulting when they offer it.
Well, no, I know that, but my point is they give you a name. Like you have your letter here. Let me see. Because they say, when you get your letter, it says who the negotiator is, who the company is.
Right.
That you're supposed to talk to. Swanson and Brown.
And how many can you have? Is there more than one?
No, well, there could be. I mean, there's these companies that's their business, being negotiators. So whoever your negotiator is, you could call up the negotiator and say, well, can you go ahead, is this gonna go ahead in light of the lawsuit, or is it in limbo?
I think people have said that before.
And what is the response?
Negotiators are kind of manipulative, and they're pushing people to do things they don't want. And
So wait, here's why. The negotiators typically have a deal where they get paid, I don't know the number, they get paid X hundreds of dollars for each parcel they resolve. So they want to resolve the parcel so they get paid. So anyway, to get back to your question. So you get a letter, if the negotiators aren't going to be honest, I would just sit tight and do nothing. I wouldn't do a thing.
What happens if they send a lawsuit to them?
So here,
Okay.
I'm going.
Okay.
Before they file the lawsuit, they will definitely send you a letter that says, listen, this is your 60-day notice. If we don't hear from you in the next 60 days, we're going to file a lawsuit, okay? When they do that, then you should call us. Because they can't get your property unless they pay for it through an agreement or they pay for it in court. I don't see how they can go to court with this suit pending because they don't have the right to do it.